Ho, ho, ho. Here we are.
Merry Christmas.
No idea, man. That being said,
I love it. I wasn't ready for it's Tuesday.
it's Tuesday, and next Tuesday, there will not be Minot Talk.
Not next week. It is Christmas Eve.
It is Christmas Eve.
We will not be present.
We will not be present.
So sorry if you were looking forward to us. Maybe we'll try to get, I don't know, something out there. I'll
Probably
write an
not,
article.
but he'll say whatever he says.
I'll write an article. Maybe you can read or something.
He'll write an article.
Yeah, there we go.
Interesting. About time.
I got 2 weeks in a row.
Well, talk about your article then. Why don't you? We're going to do that
Thursday.
later.
That's on Thursday.
Yeah. Sounds good. All right, but do want to thank everybody for joining us today for this episode of Minot Talk here at the Dakotan. Guess what Minot's missing?
What are we missing?
A Pizza Hut building on North Hill.
What happened?
It got torn down.
No way. When did it close? Like before COVID, right? Yeah.
Like there's some buildings on North Hill that you don't want to go in.
That was one of
Because
I mean, no disrespect. That building was falling apart before Pizza Hut closed.
Yeah.
Up there.
What buildings would you like to see taken down on North Hill?
Oh, on North Hill? Oh, Guest Lodge.
Guest Lodge, Vegas.
Yeah.
Rolling Pin, former Rolling Pin.
So what's the other hotel? The Economy Lodge up there?
That
That one's not as bad, but it's definitely,
that one's
not
not
great.
bad.
I feel like there's a couple other.
The Hertz, is it Hertz Rent-A-Car building?
Not anymore. That's they revamped that. So I used to work for Hertz.
Yeah, but what is it called?
It's now owned by Jerome's.
Nope, then I'm thinking of the wrong
A
one.
different one. Okay.
There's one. Is it Enterprise in?
Oh, Enterprise. Yeah, that's their car wash.
Yeah, that thing is trash looking.
That's where they wash all their cars at. Yeah.
Right, and it looks like you see them take it through that thing, and you're like, how in the world? Because it looks very dysfunctional.
Yeah. It's
It works.
It first got built probably 9 years ago now, and
That's when it was first built.
the car wash inside it, not the building. The building used to
that's
be like
a problem.
a gas station way back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, the car wash was built.
You have
10
to
years
build
ago.
a building with the intent for a car wash, almost.
Yeah, and then the company that originally built it sold it to Enterprise, and now it's just been there, and they're just using it still.
And they still use it.
Yeah, it works, I think, still.
No, I believe that it works.
I love it.
Yeah. I'm glad you love it.
I did. It was so easy, and then I left that company to go to Hertz, and we had to wash them by hand.
That was you messed up.
I
That's
did.
on you, buddy.
It was.
That is on you.
You know what? Well, I can't transition off that, but you know what happened last night?
Oh, buddy, tell us.
City council meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't going to talk. Well, I might actually get to there, but city council meeting happened last night. It was really short. It was crazy. It was like an hour and 20 minutes. I was shocked by the brevity of it. I thought, of course, coming into this, I always try to shoot a shot at a rough estimate of how long it's going to talk when Jonathan, or how long it's going to go when Jonathan and
He's
I are
always wrong.
just so far off. I remember thinking when I saw the agenda for it, this is going to be like a 3-hour meeting or something. Hour 20.
Yeah.
It wasn't the most. They had 22 consent items. Nothing got pulled, which also, for clarity's sake, when you look at the 22 consent items, it makes perfect sense. It's nothing of any real. It's paying bills and approving liquor licenses for next year.
You mean the city has bills?
It's crazy, right?
Right.
Like finalizing payments on different light pole constructions and things like that.
Finance department said a few council meetings ago that it was around that season too, where there was a lot of bills they had to pay this time of year.
That end of year stuff. And speaking of the finance department, they're at some kind of financial conference right now.
Dude,
and
could you imagine going to one of those? That has to be boring.
That'd be so.
That has to be crazy boring.
However, on the flip side, you look at the people that are into that. I bet they absolutely love it. I bet that's like their Super Bowl for the year.
Miranda Schuler makes a really good point.
I can't read.
They had a 4-hour county commission meeting today.
Ooh,
that was today.
Hey, that's gonna be. We can talk about that on Thursday. I might have to watch that. That sounds interesting.
4 hours might pique might pique old Kyler's interest over there.
I know, right? That's gonna kill an evening for me here. I'm talk about that on Thursday.
There you go. Yeah.
No, go ahead. You were going to say something?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, I was. Okay. So yeah, going back to city council, they had 4 action items on the agenda. The only thing they really talked about was a couple months ago, there was discussions with the Visit Minot implementing a little different extent of their leisure tax, and that got approved.
Nice.
It finally, it got put forth to council. They asked a couple questions on it. Nothing real, too much in depth. I think they wanted to ask if there was something set into century code where that 30-day cutoff limit was. And Dave Lakefield actually called in from his conference and said there was. He confirmed that. So great effort for him calling in on the days off.
That is. It's not his day off. He's working.
He's always working. Yeah, you're clearly.
Yeah, but even the conference is work.
That's true. He is there for work. You're not wrong.
That's right. Thanks for admitting it.
You're right. As
Appreciate
always,
that.
Jonathan's always right, guys. But following that, they got to the public appearances like a half hour in. It was flying by. So you go from that. Then there is a presentation by the fire chief. She's talking about some potential needs they might have over the next few years, some different hires they have. End of next year, 2025, they have a fire inspector that's expected to retire. She wants to transition that position to a fire marshal, so it would have a little bit more brevity, a little bit more oomph behind what they do. But other than that, then went to visit Minot's report for the year. One thing I know of note in that.
Is brevity the right word there?
Probably not. I think brevity shortens. Yeah. In hindsight, I said that wrong. You're right. Yeah.
That got me thinking.
I changed. I think my correction works well enough. But yeah, well, brevity's definitely not the right call on that one. Oops. Anyways, the Visit Minot report. So comparing this year to last year, there's a few less people per month coming to visit Minot. But of those people, they're staying for longer duration.
Interesting. Well, wait a minute. What about all the people that are coming here for short trips just stopped coming? Short trips just stopped coming.
Did they? Maybe they did.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. I know in her slideshow she was presenting, she went through a further slide and she was talking about the different events that played into the summer. I know last year we had a couple tournaments over the summer. I think a baseball or a softball one that we didn't have this year. Obviously, we always have the fair, so we can't ever look away from that. That's our big draw for the year.
Right.
And the Hustfest this fall, I don't know if they had any specific numbers yet. I think it's a lot of estimates. I think their solidified data is only through August, and the last couple months have been estimated. But one other thing of note, as of right now, our projections for sales tax revenue in Minot are going to be up like roughly 20%.
Wow.
So that's
people can stop spending. We did our part.
Yeah, or spend more.
Why?
Then they could have a reason to lower property taxes.
Okay. No.
That's a stretch.
No, they should have a reason to lower sales tax because they're getting...
Well, they're about to raise it, though.
Right. But if they just use the current funds, the 20% over, then they could probably fund whatever they wanted to fund.
That's a good point because I don't have this in me. This is just thinking off my head now that you made that point. I remember they were talking on one of the meetings over the summer of some sales tax history coming up for this year, and typically they had been beating projections. So I wonder, looking at that, how much it has typically beaten the projection. We're going to have to look into this for you guys. What it really has beaten the projections by. I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but that would be something to look into because maybe they could theoretically think about actually lowering it, maybe like 0.25% or something.
I laugh not at you, but at the idea of lowering taxes, right?
It's a good thought, right? But so
you looked at me like I was demon possessed. No, man. Like it seems like the trying to get any tax lowered is just difficult. And it should be, I guess. Maybe it shouldn't be. I don't know. I don't know that it should be.
I think it should be. I think it should be easier. I don't think it should be easy.
I think exempting property tax or getting rid of it is a very big ask. That should be hard.
That should be. Reforming property taxes should be easier than they've made it look in the past decade, though.
Past history of my lifetime. Getting rid of sales tax, that should go away. What I mean by go away is we should stop signing up for these perpetual half-penny sales tax that just never end.
It's in.
They should make it there. The people, you and I, the people should get a law passed that says the max length for a half-penny sales tax is 10 years, and then it has to go back to the people for renewal.
It's actually a good idea. I like this. The Starr law.
No, don't call it that.
But no, I think something like that could work because I mean that's what they're theoretically talking about with that property tax exclusion from park board, where they're
they do it the other way.
Exactly. That's when, and you just flip the script, and all of a sudden now, every time you have that sales tax increment after 10 years, it has to be renewed by the city or the county, whatever it might be.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a move.
But why is it like even with the property and with the Minot Park, and I'm not picking on them. They have some good stuff going over there. But why is it that when a proposal comes up, we'll put ours in perpetuity. Could not pronounce the word. That's my fault for making fun of you for brevity. Yeah. Perpetuity. But you guys, we do have the opportunity to put back our taxes just in case if we're not making enough money.
Yeah.
Wait, how's that fair?
Yeah, it's might not be the most, but at the same time, I think there's something that could be done with that sales tax topic that you brought up there, though. I think that could be worked into a solution, and especially with a lot of the NAS project and a lot of the stuff that's going to flood control in Minot specifically, I feel like you could. I mean, at this point, it's probably too late, but for anything future that those percentages were to go into, those pennies, I feel like that would be something that.
Honestly, I don't even know if that stuff is in perpetuity or not.
Not off the top of my head. I would. I guess it's. Yeah, it's.
I would assume that it's not.
So?
Honestly,
not okay.
For the NAS, like
that would be probably more of a temporary one.
That should have an end date. But some of those things they go and they say at its end date, it'll be automatically rolled into this at the end of it.
That's true.
But it could still be 30 years, and that's the problem with the role that I would be stating is that.
By the time it rolls back
there
around.
are specific things though, like the property or the flood control. That is something that needed to be in a longer deal because the costs had to be spread out over a longer period of time.
Clearly, you can't guarantee the length of how long something like that's going to take. So it's hard to say you put a 20-year limit on the sales tax, but it's going to actually take 40 years. All of a sudden, you have
at 20 years, you're going to have a completely different voter block that may not really care about flood control anymore, even though
or to the same extent. And regardless of necessity, but yeah.
It'd be interesting to look at that stuff, though.
That's something we could dive into a little more. Maybe we talk to some state legislators.
I bet you
this
guy that could write a column on it or something.
He does some stuff about that.
He does some stuff.
Got a tariff
big
article.
news.
What's that?
My iPad's charging.
Hey, it's gonna work. We were getting scared, folks. We thought Jonathan's iPad was crashing out on us. Thought it was gonna be the end of its life. It's been a good iPad for him though. It's got the interactive stuff and all those things.
So Deanne has a couple comments. One was, what about the people that have to live in hotels so they get to be exempt from that extra fee? I don't know what the answer is to that.
I would bet not.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't know for certain.
I don't understand why they would be, honestly, but okay. Also, hold on, guys. I was told by Alderman Blessum that if we vote for the sales tax increase, the park will still charge property tax. They just won't increase them from today's level, so they're getting double tax essentially. So what our understanding is, Deanne, is that if the Minot Park proposal passed, there would still be property tax, but it would be lowered by like 13 mils or something like that.
Yeah. Give or take 13, 15, something like that.
Somewhere in there. And they could not raise them above that amount
for 20 years.
Yeah, I believe it's 20 years. Yep. They would also make money off of sales tax. So there would be a decrease in property tax, but they would not be getting rid of property tax completely at the park district.
If I put that across
and they would be limiting themselves as to how high their mills could go.
Mm-hmm. And but on the flip side, that property, or not the property tax, the sales tax for them would be in perpetuity.
Yeah. Yep. Good you said the word much better than I do. Just the sales tax wouldn't go away.
No. And you want to, so I guess let's wrap back into the city council meeting because that's not where it ended. It was
short, but not that short.
It was feeling like it was wrapping up all of a sudden, but then Alderman Rob Fuller steps in and says, hey,
go Rob.
I have someone here that unfortunately missed the public appearances session because it took like 10 minutes to get to there, and he wants to speak. And it was a gentleman from the Fraternal Order of the Police talking about the squad car toy drive they have, some of the positives that have been going on for the Minot Police Department in the area. Great to see. And then finally, one last thing that kind of happened at City Council last night. Rob Fuller again was contacted by the mother of Matt Watney, excuse me, that passed away about 6 weeks ago.
Mitch Watney. We're missing it. Sorry, guys.
I'm sorry.
It's Mitchell Watney.
And he was contacted by his mother, and apparently there was a lot of hope that there was going to be some more progression by now in a potential program that had been set up by either the city or the state for police officers. They were going to be working in conjunction with a program out of Florida, and that would be to facilitate in officers struggling with either PTSD or some other issues with on the job, whatever it might be. And Alderman Fuller put that up, and so there was a motion and it got passed. So there's going to be I think it was Assistant City Manager Tom Joyce is going to be taking the lead on that, and it'll be progressing. So sounds like something's going to get done there.
Master Officer Mitchell Watney.
Yeah, so excuse us for that. We apologize, Mitch. And that effectively, though, wrapped up the meeting. It was
hour and a half?
A hair under, about hour 20. Yeah,
that's crazy.
It was like I
like it. These holiday meetings, man, they're a little shorter.
Exactly. Well, you know why it was short last night?
Why is that?
Vikings were on Monday Night Football.
They tried to lose, I'm pretty sure.
In the first half, they pulled away. Won by 18. It was a safe win.
Who are they playing again?
Dub Bears.
Dub Bears. Dub Bears that don't know how to...
The Bears that lost 8 straight.
Yeah. Is Caleb Williams looking good yet?
He's a Bears quarterback. When was the last time one of those looked good? For more than like a game at a time.
Yeah.
So everyone
I think it was the CrossFit guy.
I remember that. Yeah. Jay Cutler.
No. I mean, he was good, but I'm talking about the CrossFit guy recently. He could have been a CrossFit like coach or whatever, and then he
went and played.
Yeah, he played like last year.
Oh, Tyson Badgent or
there you go.
Yeah, the undrafted dude from last year. Yep. I remember that. I had to rack my brain for that one.
And then somebody else recently pointed out that Boyle, is it Tim Boyle?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, on the Giants, right?
Yeah. What happened? Why did your eyes get so big? Because he played again?
He is, and he is statistically one of the worst quarterbacks of like all time. He has he started like 15 or 16 games in his career. I think he has 1 win. He's thrown like twice as many interceptions to touchdowns, and that goes back like 5-6 years.
So this is based off of Reddit. Tim Boyle's college career: 3 years at UConn, 0 wins, 1 touchdown, 13 interceptions. Transferred to Eastern Kentucky, 4-7 record, 11 TDs, 13 interceptions. That's his college career.
Heck of a senior year.
And he got a chance in the pros.
He was Aaron Rodgers' backup for a long time.
And let's see. Yeah, 1 TD, 13 interceptions. That's according to Sports Reference at UConn. It's actually
it's a lot
somewhat
worse
accurate.
Than what I said. Yeah.
But that's college.
Oh, that's just the college. Okay,
that's college. That's not pros. But it's incredible that he's able to be a backup QB because, like, how hard is it to find somebody with decent stats coming out of college? Like, there's a lot of good.
You can get some very inflated college quarterback numbers that come out, and you can find guys that have produced with some high numbers.
But I mean,
the thing that shocks me most is the fact that I have nothing on Tim Boyle. He would blow me away in every athletic competition possible. But that Tim Boyle, with his stats, is still getting NFL jobs and backup jobs.
That's the point.
Compared to someone like a Josh Rosen who got drafted in the first round like 5 years ago and is out of the league.
But people know he's trash.
People don't know who Tim Boyle is?
And I don't know.
I assume he has to be like the best locker room guy or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Josh Rosen, I don't think was.
No, he was
Josh
not.
Rosen.
He was. Yeah, that was his big thing. He was not a locker room guy at all. But
seems like there's more guys like Colt McCoy.
Heck yeah,
who have fantastic college careers that are good people, and they probably don't come from Texas. They probably come from smaller schools that could do better than Tim Boyle.
Like a Josh McCown for his career.
Yep. But we're talking about all the ones that did. What about the ones that
are more similar
that were like
Tim Boyle?
Really great college quarterbacks and like you just never heard of them again?
Give me a minute. I know I can find a couple here if I rack my brain hard enough.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of them. It's just I can't think of them.
Yeah, I did.
Which is crazy. But yeah, it's interesting.
Keenum?
Yeah, but
he had his big moment. Yeah,
he had
his moment.
Decent
he started
NFL
a couple
career.
Of years. Yeah,
yeah. The college quarterback that had a good career and then just gone. It's amazing. That's the one thing about sports. Like, this is a word of encouragement to the people out there today. Like, who lost in the Super Bowl last year?
Was it the Eagles or the 49ers?
Yeah, probably 49ers. I don't know. They don't win. I don't know.
Chiefs won back-to-back against the 49ers and Eagles. I don't remember off the top of my head the order of it.
Who lost who lost the World Series this past year?
The Yankees.
Yankees. What about the year before?
Rangers won, and they beat, in the NL, the Diamondbacks, who went on a crazy run at the end.
Yeah, that's crazy. Who, don't you love this? Who won the championship in basketball?
Celtics.
And who lost?
They beat the Dallas Mavericks.
And what about the year before?
2 years ago in basketball.
Do you know who won?
The Nuggets, yeah.
They won. Who lost?
They beat, I don't remember off the top of my head. It wasn't
I
an
wouldn't
easy
expect
series.
you to.
I'm
But this is
doing
my
good.
point. There's a lot of great people that did some fantastic things as quarterback in college, and we cannot remember any of their names.
This is true.
We only remember some of them that made it to the pros, and the reason why you remember Case Keenum is because he played for the Vikings.
And, well, for a long time, he held the most passing yards in college football history, too.
Okay, yeah,
But
right. It's semi-easy to remember the people that won. It's really hard to remember the people that came in second place, that lost.
That's true.
So why do we put all of our energy and all of our time and all of our money into sports?
Yeah, it's a great question.
So that's where I was getting to.
To wrap it all back around, it is
There's
just
a lot better places for us to spend our time.
Completely so.
But, it's a fun time.
It was. I enjoyed last night. I got to watch City Council. I got to watch the Vikings game. It was
Good
a
for
great
you.
time.
Good for you, buddy. Good for you.
Oh,
All right. Moving back to more important things to the city of Minot.
yeah, we got off on a tangent there. Apologies.
It was a good time.
It was.
Yeah, I'm at 25%.
Hey, it
Things
is
are
charging
happening,
now. Look
man.
at that. Where do you want to? So one other thing that's come out is the primary tax credit is available for 2025.
Oh, yeah. They
for
fixed
instance.
property taxes. That's right.
This solves the whole issue.
Yeah. $500. Dude, that makes you want to go get like a 40. It has to be primary. You have to live on it.
Yeah,
Go get a
'cause you're gonna go get a plot of-
$75,000 home, and your property taxes are almost paid for.
Look at that. That's where you going to find a $75,000.
You can find them.
You can. They're out there. They're not great, but they're out there.
They're out there.
They are.
Well, what do you want in a home?
That's a whole different question then. At that point, yeah.
I mean, if
it's
if you're married, have 3 kids, and all, I get. Yeah, you're not going to find
but
one.
if it's your first one and if you have the ability to fix a lot of it up yourself, that's a great start.
Right. And your taxes are paid for you.
Exactly.
Now, to the person that has the $500,000 home, yeah, who cares about your taxes?
Yeah, $500.
That's what that primary tax credit says.
Yeah, $500 tax credit on something of that nature is
what?
going to be massive.
I missed it.
But those are available. You can go to, what is the website? tax.nd.gov/PRC, and you can apply there and you can get your tax credit for 2025.
Yep.
You gonna apply for yours, Jonathan?
This year I will.
There you go. Good job.
I didn't do it last year because I felt bad, but then nobody else felt bad. I was in the minority, and everyone else said, you're crazy for not doing it. So I'm going to be like, I'm doing it. I'm getting my $500.
We're jumping on.
Here you go.
bandwagon.
2-bedroom, 1-bath home. Just dropped $10K, $89,900
There we go. Here in town.
here in town.
I love it.
You can do it. $90,000, 2-bed, 2.5 bath, 1,200 square feet. $92,000, 2-bed, 1-bath, 1,200 square feet. All in town. There you go, buddy.
It's got options.
2-bed, 1-bath, 1,500 square feet, and $99,500.
Man, who wants to move in the winter though?
You
gonna help? You got a nice
Yep.
new truck now.
Yep. Hey, shut up. Let my personal life be my personal life.
Well, you can help me move.
I can help you move.
Yeah, there we go. I'll take my Ford Ranger and take your pickup. We'll make it happen.
There we go. Yeah. Good times.
Love.
Anyways,
For
make sure
real
you
though,
go
yeah,
apply
tax
for that.
credit.
Get that $500.
Yep. Anything else in Minot you want to talk about before we go on to a couple other things?
Yeah, there's a nice home on Valley Street that needs redone. You can make a bunch of money there, buddy.
I wouldn't want to live on Valley Street though. It's too
You're
busy
not
of a road.
supposed to. You're supposed to redo it and sell it.
Flip it. I feel like that's half the reason of what's wrong with our real estate market.
So you have it here that Ward County is suing Project B.
Yeah, I saw that.
What?
I know, it's amazing. It's crazy. Apparently, Project B owes them money, or Ward County alleges that. Or I think actually, to actually be specific here, I believe Ward County is alleging that Project B was double dipping in funds, and different kind of grants, and they're going back at them for dipping out on the management and also for leaving them the ticket on everything.
Hey, just a minute.
Yeah.
Linda Page says manufactured homeowners need to apply too.
There you go. Lindy's right. Yep.
So that makes it. And the Blue Rider said city council bingo every Monday night. City council meeting at the Blue one free drinks while watching the fireworks. Hey, you know what? The bingo's crazy. The bingo's crazy.
I might have to show up there in a couple of weeks in the first one of the year just to get the bingo card. I might have to make an appearance.
There you go.
It'd be a trip.
Yeah. So anyways, Ward County in this lawsuit.
Yeah. So in the most legalese way I could figure out how to do it, I went and found just full disclosure here, I'm not a lawyer. So I went and found the lawsuit on the ndcourts.gov website. I went and took the full document, and again, full disclosure, I transcribed it into a ChatGPT, and I told ChatGPT to tell me what this means. So breaking it down via AI and someone who is not a lawyer here. So
we're going to listen to ChatGPT
and take this with a heavy grain of salt here.
Yeah, get that salt.
This all I've done this.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, we have parties involved. So they filed it on December 10th, about a week ago. Ward County suing Project B, a nonprofit organization here in Minot. Case type, it involves contract or collection issues, so it likely means Ward County is suing Project B over a financial or contractual dispute, possibly related to unpaid amounts or alleged breach of agreement. What are the court actions? The lawsuit was filed again last week. There are multiple exhibits which were included, including applications, payment request forms, vouchers, audit reports, and checks. These indicate the financial nature of the dispute, possibly tied to ARPA, which is the American Rescue Plan Act funds or grants, which I believe is where they got some of that funding from. And then a notice in the case number was issued as of last Wednesday, so that means it was officially assigned to a judge. Timeline of it, they have been formally notified. Project B has, so that means they have been served the papers. Mm-hmm. So who knows when it's going to progress past here, but they have been notified. It is happening, and some potential implications according to, again, AI.
So let me butt in right here.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
Lawsuit against Project B.
Yes.
What's the good that's going to come out of this?
I don't know. Is Minot going to try to recoup funds or funding?
But Project B will just shut down because they don't have any money. Is the way that it sounded like.
Yeah, and it's because they're already not working their
it's crazy
warming shelter and have already reduced services for this winter.
It seems like the lawsuit should be more against the former executive director, if anybody,
rather than the organization itself. It should have been the person running it almost.
Because literally at this point, what you're doing is taking, if they were to win it, you're just taking the money from the donors that put money back into Project B to get it going again.
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand why that would be the way to go about it. Unless they're saying like or unless they're saying there might be like unclaimed grant money they might have the ability to access. I have no idea if that's the case, but maybe something like that, and they would try to take over that access to those funds. I don't know if that would even be a thing, but
and it would be. Do you know what they were looking for from it?
The document was very brief and didn't include a lot of.
We'll be tracking that.
Yeah, we're gonna without a doubt follow that. I just saw that this morning, and I felt like we had to throw that into our little thing here.
KX News has an official release on this, so we'll mention it. Murder suspect arrested in Northwest Minot. Minot man has been arrested in connection with the death of a woman found dead Tuesday morning, December 17th. According to press release from the Minot Police Department at 12:22 a.m., Minot Central Dispatch received a call about an unresponsive woman in Northwest Minot apartment. Upon arriving at the scene, officers discovered a man performing CPR on the victim. According to police, the man said Freeling Hadley, a 35-year-old man, was supposed to be waiting outside to meet the police. That person could not be found. The woman was transported to Trinity Hospital, where she was pronounced deceased. According to police, examiners believe the woman was strangled to death. Police say they believe Hadley fled the scene on foot before officers arrived. Officers say they located footprints in the snow, and with the help of the police department K-9, they were able to track him to a location about a block away from the apartment. Hadley was arrested on a charge of murder, a Class AA felony, and taken to Ward County Jail. Police say the investigation into the incident is ongoing. So,
Yikes.
Prayers with those that are involved, close to that situation, and it's always sad when something like that happens in your small town of Minot.
Yeah, it's never good. Obviously innocent until proven guilty, but sounds like, not a great situation there regardless.
Right.
One thing I wonder, so it says he got a block away after he tried to flee on foot. I wonder how hard of an effort he put to flee at that point, or if the cops were there by, like, as soon as he got outside, the cops were already showing up, or what the deal was there. But he didn't get very far before that awesome dog. Oh gosh, what was its name? Caspian. Yeah, chased him down. That dog's been in the news lately. Won an award a month or two ago at City Council, and now doing this again. Shout out Caspian.
Every dog has its day.
It does, and Caspian's had a fall right here.
he's had a whole season.
He has. It has been his couple months here.
Keep it going, bud. Keep it going.
Love Caspian. Moving on off of that, one other thing that kind of has been happening, not necessarily in Minot. This is relevant, I think remotely relevant to Minot. See, end of last week, Williston announced they are placing their chief of police on administrative leave.
It's also a season for that,
I guess. Turns out Williston recently had their own survey, but this was an internal survey done in the police department trying to see, address some issues that could potentially be there. And so according to the Williston Herald, who has a pretty great write-up on this, a few of the things that they found from the respondents that expressed dissatisfaction with the leadership, as well as other concerns like lack of genuine support, inconsistent discipline, seeming favoritism, a focus on politics over personal well-being, low morale over high turnover, and poor communication and lack of transparency. Some concerns that not being taken seriously or addressed inadequately according to this report, low pay compared to workload and risks, long-term implications in the department's new pay scale, and insufficient trauma support. And there were some good things that were mentioned too. They have good community support, good benefits and health coverage, and strong team spirit and camaraderie within their shifts, apparently. So there are some great things going on, but also there are some underlying concerns, and unfortunately it led to their chief of police being placed on leave as well. One thing that I really know...
So they have strong... one of the positives is that there's support from supervisors, but the chief of police gets placed on leave. Some of the complaints are low pay, which isn't necessarily I get the chief can fight for that, but long-term limitations of the department's new pay scale, again, that is driven by the chief, but in part by city council.
Kind of, yeah.
Well, he has a fairly direct, like he's probably presenting it.
Yeah.
Depending on how it's done.
Yeah. If it's similar to ours, it would at least be his presentation.
Insufficient trauma support, probably something he should be looking into. And now the lack of genuine support, inconsistent discipline, favoritism, focus on politics over personal well-being, low morale over high turnover, poor communication, lack of transparency. All those are directly on him, to be clear. But some of that stuff isn't directly on him.
At least, yeah. And a lot of those things are kind of similar to some of the things we heard in our recent police investigation.
Yeah.
A lot of similar key topics.
So what town's next?
Well, Dickinson or Bismarck?
Grand Forks? No?
Grand Forks. I mean, I was just going with the west and down at that point, but could be east and down too.
Right. It went smaller, so it could be Dickinson.
Fair. Or could go real big. Could be Fargo.
Yeah.
But also, to look at that, a couple of the key ones that I noticed. I
think they love their chief of police down there.
They could. It's West Fargo.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
You know what
That's what it is.
Yeah. But couple key parallels between theirs and ours was the insufficient trauma support, which is something that was brought up at our city council meeting last night. It is something that hopefully won't just be a Minot thing, but
who brought it up?
Rob Fuller. That was the Mitch Watney mother's point at the end, and so hopefully that could be something that's implemented. Maybe not even at a city level, but could be more of a statewide initiative even at some stage.
Yeah,
it could work its way into that kind of deal.
If that worked better for all the departments, that might be a good thing.
Then also the whole the favoritism and inconsistent discipline were a couple of the parallels with things that happened in Minot, and I feel like that's just a thing that's it will happen in certain environments, and hopefully they were able to address this early enough before anything gets too big of an issue at this stage.
Right.
So it's another one of those deals, and hopefully Williston gets theirs figured out. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it'll take a couple days and he'll be back on the job.
Very good.
But as of right now, they still haven't announced who's going to be leading the investigation or any further details. So I could
You know
probably.
what it's time for?
Is it a break?
It's time for your hot take.
My hot take. Oh, let me pull this up. I've got something here.
He's got some hot takes.
I don't know. I hope it's a hot take. So, North Dakota has a legacy fund, right? Everybody loves to talk about it. It's there. It was established in 2011. It was made to build revenue and build a legacy to fund later initiatives in the state and later generations, very briefly. And so my hot take, and legacy, I think the legacy fund feels like a rainy day fund. I think it's that rather than this more like transformative tool of change that I feel like it was originally supposed to be. And not saying it can't be a rainy day fund, and that's not part of what it should be. But I think with over $11 billion in its fund, it's not as if it needs to all be spent at once. And it's not like they haven't, made any transfers before to go to the general fund. But
Right.
I think it's something that it feels like it could be put to better use rather than keep building on its already, possibly questionable legacy because of how much hate and pushback it gets. And I'm not saying that you need to take this $11 billion and spend it on one big thing. But if you start taking a little bit every biennium and putting it into more effective projects, I think this could be something that could be more efficiently done. And also it could help give the legacy fund a better feel and name publicly. Because I think its optics aren't great.
Rainy day fund, buddy.
When do we use it then? What's a rainy day then?
Well, I think we could have used it when we needed a rainy day during the fires.
Did we?
Probably not.
I think we just declared a national emergency and FEMA came in and gave us everything.
Fed money, bro.
Exactly.
That's where it's at.
They just print it so it doesn't matter, right?
He's on a tear now. He went from a hot take to a thread and
fired up.
Yeah. So I asked ChatGPT.
Uh-oh.
It tried to give me some
remember we used to do an AI hot take.
Right. So I'm like, give me one. And one of them was stop blaming the economy for your business's struggle. Adapt or be left behind.
Jeez, that is harsh. Oh my gosh.
ChatGPT is having a bad day.
That is savage.
Your comfort zone isn't just holding you back, it's killing your potential. Success isn't about motivation, it's about consistency when motivation runs out. And I'm like, hey, I get the business stuff, but I want one about my town. I want one about Minot or Dakotan.
Sure.
So
you specified Minot.
Yeah. So now we're a little more maybe. It's still pretty intense. Minot's biggest problem isn't the weather; it's a mindset that good enough is acceptable. Oh! Shots fired.
I feel like it's being general and probably doesn't even know that much specifically about Minot, but it's odd. It's crazy how fitting that kind of is to an extent.
Yeah. It's not done.
Oh.
North Dakota's real export isn't oil; it's young talent leaving for better opportunities. And it kept going.
Go off.
Minot doesn't have a growth problem; it has a leadership problem stuck in the past. This is all ChatGPT.
Oh my.
All ChatGPT. North Dakota politicians love talking about small government until federal money is on the table.
Oh my God. It is.
All ChatGPT, guys.
Stop
blaming the oil boom for Minot's housing crisis. We had years to plan and we didn't.
This is fair. This is a legitimate point there. That's a legitimate point.
Yeah.
There was a housing crisis when the oil boom was here.
Man.
There was a housing crisis when the oil boom was here, and there's a housing crisis now after it's left. So, and it hasn't fully left, but it's not what it was 10 years ago, of course.
Right. What one's your favorite?
Wow. I obviously like that last one.
Yeah. But the real export isn't oil. Biggest problem is that weather. Minot doesn't have a growth problem. North Dakota politicians and federal money.
I like the one with the North Dakota's biggest export is young talent.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I like that one. Yeah. I think that's because I've seen it. I've seen a lot of people my age leave the state, and it's a real thing, and it continues. It is not a new problem either.
No, it's not a new problem.
That's wow. That was a dirt.
That's some powerful stuff, chat.
GPT.
We appreciate it, chat. You keep it going.
I love it.
Okay, so I guess I had to do this hot take stuff too.
If you have one.
I'm gonna build off of ChatGPT.
Okay, I'm gonna piggyback here.
I don't know that it's gonna be much of a hot take, but I'm gonna say this: watch your mindset. Watch your mindset this winter, because it's right. We get so depressed around here during the winter, and we start thinking really bad thoughts, and then summer comes and everyone's happy again for a few months, and then winter comes and people are mad again. You know,
seasonal affective depression.
I almost got in a wreck yesterday. You know,
Why?
It happens because of the roads.
So
like
slow.
there are crazy. Somebody behind me, buddy. There are drivers that are learning how to drive in the snow and all that stuff. It's part of mine. What's our mindset this year? How are we going to grow? How are we going to be better as a community, as individuals, as those things? Watch our mindset. Make sure we're built for growth, so that way when those prime months of summer come and there's so much that can be done, we're ready for it.
We can properly utilize it at that point.
And probably there's stuff we can do while it's cold too.
Yeah, we can always do better when it's cold, but it's cold and dark and everyone's sad. So
yeah, that's what happens. And so then we just go into our cocoons and for months.
Till like the end of February, beginning of March, till people finally start emerging.
Well, we stick our head out knowing it's going to get dumped
that's what
on.
I'm saying. You know, there's going to be at least one more big storm coming.
Yeah.
Like March, April. It always happens.
It happens.
It's a guarantee.
Hopefully it happens before Easter this year, because Easter's April 20th. That'd be a really late snowstorm.
That would be end of April.
Yeah.
Last couple weeks there. That'd be like what 2, 3. It'll be 3 years ago. This coming spring, where we got that 4 feet in like a week.
That was
nutty.
Awesome.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a trip. Like 3 feet, and that weekend.
How about this cycle that we're on right now? Like, snow companies have to be thankful.
Oh, for sure.
Because we're on this stinking cycle where, and I guess I need to watch my mindset, but I have a reason. I'll explain. Where it warms up, snows, freezes, warms up, melts all the snow off, snows, and freezes.
It's good at that.
And it's just enough snow where the snow plows have to come out, and it costs a ton of money.
Yep.
It's like, this is some expensive snow right here.
Yep. Like, City of Minot's got to be hating that part, but those private companies that do that snow removal, oh, they have to be just. This is their time. This is where they make their money.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. Things you don't always think about directly.
Without a doubt. I look forward to getting through the rest of winter, because hey, by the time we're back on for at least our Minot talk, it'll be the opposite. It'll be officially winter.
Okay. 21st, right?
Yep. And the days will officially be getting longer.
Well, we're gonna be up on.
I said by the next Minot
talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we'll be here next Thursday, right?
This Thursday.
This Thursday and.
Not next Thursday.
Thursday.
We're taking a full week off.
Okay, perfect. Okay, that's fine. We're confirmed now. But yeah, so for our next Minot talk, it'll be officially winter, and the clock will have turned, and the days will be getting longer again. So it will officially be the upswing. We just have to get through January.
Beautiful. All right, there's something you found. Was it yesterday?
Let's
go.
You want to go into this a little bit?
Yeah.
All right. So I was on YouTube yesterday, and
terrible guy.
I know, a video popped up in my.
There's only one place you should be at on YouTube. That is The Dakotan. Make sure you're subscribed.
Exactly, and ring that bell for notifications.
Huge podcast coming out Thursday
night.
It's going to be a live stream on the Dakotan YouTube channel.
6 p.m.
6 p.m. with Mr. Charles Hofer and 2 national aviation experts, Ed Pearson and Joe Jacobson.
Yep.
They're all in the Boeing whistleblower stuff, FAA stuff. It's going to be pretty good and informative discussion that we will have. A couple
state legislators on for sure as well, and it's going to be.
That list is growing, so
make sure you pop in as well.
Yep.
Leave comments at some point, and
if they're good,
we will go over them. We will discuss it, and we might throw them out there to Mr. Hofer, Mr. Jacobson, Mr. Pearson, and the state legislators at the end.
Yes, so there you go. Now, you can't ask about property taxes to the state legislator.
Fortunately not.
Because that's not what we're about. But yeah,
let's try to keep that one relevant. But
maybe down the road we'll do something like that.
Hopefully, next spring sometime we can work something into it. But when I was on YouTube yesterday, in my recommendations, a video popped up that said the North Dakota iceberg. And I thought, what? So I
What does that
clicked on
mean?
it,
Like,
and
there's an
it's-
iceberg in North
it's
Dakota?
like, what's it talking about, right? And so
Whoa.
I know I did.
Whoa.
And then I pulled
Talking a boot?
I pulled it up.
Talking a boot?
I pulled it up, and
What are we doing?
and it was it was a video about the iceberg chart of North Dakota. And over the past couple years on YouTube, it's kind of been a subgenre that's picked up some steam. Different icebergs of different subjects. So the tip of the iceberg is the most well-known normal kind of information. Then obviously with an iceberg only 20% above the surface, the bulk of it is below. So the deeper you get to underneath the surface onto this iceberg, the more obscure the information gets. So
I hope that makes sense to you. I've never heard of this concept, or if I have, it's been very limited
fair
to in my lifetime.
It's probably a super niche like YouTube genre that I've unfortunately stumbled into.
And he loves it because it's information.
It's Minot it's North Dakota information. And so the top of the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg has Minot, the Missouri River, which goes through North Dakota. It has the Red River, which is on the east side of the state. It's literally the most basic state information there is.
And so what's the point of it?
It's just a collection of information.
And so it's like, if you go to North Dakota and you want to look at that, this is the stuff everybody knows about. They could give you information on it. This is stuff most people know about. Okay.
Then the deeper you get, it gets to more obscure things that you might not have heard about, or some of it gets to be a little more questionable things too.
You sent me the link, and it's not even interactive. It's not like you can click the link and learn more about it.
Oh, you can pull up the little thing, and it gives a little brief information. Like you have the Pyramid of the Prairies, and its little description is building.
Yeah, not for me, buddy.
Pyramid in the Nakoma. It was originally a Cold War radar station, and it was possibly purchased as a Bitcoin mining center.
When I click on stuff, nothing happens.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Got to just hover over it. Don't click. Oh, because you're on an iPad. It probably let's
Go
be honest,
away.
probably it's like an old, like just looking at the layout, it's an old thing.
Pathetic.
But so going all the way down, just to skip ahead a bit to the bot. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 layers to this iceberg.
Okay.
If we get all the way down to that bottom layer, that tip, deep, dark, black ocean part, there's a few things. One of them is called elks and sandboxes.
Okay.
Did you know in the state of North Dakota, it is illegal to keep an elk in a sandbox?
That's hard. It's hard to get an elk in North Dakota.
Then there's also apparently there's a monster in Devil's Lake that is described as similar to the Loch Ness monster.
Interesting.
Sounds
about right.
Right. There was the 2001 Sanhaven incident, which some people were exploring, and a kid fell down the elevator shaft and unfortunately was killed.
That's not good.
Yeah. There is the flag of Mandan, which is pretty weird if you actually pull it up. It's a pretty obscure city flag. Then there's the Dakota Zoo elk incident, which this is something I want to look into, because according to its brief description, in the early 2000s, someone apparently broke into the Dakota Zoo in Bismarck, broke into the elk enclosure, and shot an elk. But there's like no information online about it apparently. So I want, but if you ask people, according to this website in Bismarck, they know all about it and remember it happening. So I plan on looking into that a little bit at least. No guarantees anything will come of it, but just show what its cards are. The bottom, the very tip of the bottom of the iceberg is Ray Holmberg.
How is that? So how do more people know about Gary Johnson than Ray Holmberg?
That's true. Because Gary Johnson ran for president.
Yeah. That's the only reason why.
That's literally the only reason why. And people wouldn't even, when he was the governor of Arizona, I bet no one in North Dakota knew that he was from here.
New Mexico.
Yeah, you're right. New Mexico. You're right.
I got him.
He did. He got me on the politics thing. He got me beat. But yeah, if you're ever interested in looking at it, it's icebergcharts.com/ultimate North Dakota. It's kind of a little neat thing. It just surprised me that North Dakota had one more than anything. Thought it'd be neat to kind of throw.
So now he's going to do articles on every single one of them, so you can learn more about North Dakota.
There's this could be a lot. There's 98 entries on this.
There you go.
That could be,
and they're gonna and it's growing.
Next, it can be updated. You can put submissions. So.
Yeah, I mean Ray Holmberg. That's a fairly new submission.
I'm the one of anything that surprised me is there wasn't a Wayne Stenjum email.
Oh yeah,
notice on here anywhere.
See, wouldn't that be fun? I mean, I would be interested in hearing what people's thoughts are. Wouldn't it be fun to kind of do research on maybe not all these, but there's a lot of stuff that's not even mentioned here. I think that I like that are on the edge of my brain that I can't necessarily vocalize right now, but of that'd be interested in learning more. Great example is your Wayne Sinjum emails.
100%.
Should we do research on him and
we
either do a video series or
we could do big.
We could finally get Kyler to do a video series.
Exactly what I've always talked about doing and never just done yet. We'll see if it happens. I won't guarantee it. I will say that I will.
He wants
to do it.
Almost essentially guaranteed that we're going to hear about the train derailment.
Yeah, I have a script for it. Never proceeded with it. Yeah.
No, didn't happen.
It's my fault. I take the blame.
You should.
I will, and I do.
Yeah.
We'll get it
actually, we could blame somebody else, but we won't.
Not yet. Yeah, not right now.
Not right now. But very time.
It was the rain. When the office flooded, we'll go with that.
Very, very time intensive. Yeah. All right.
Anything else you want to have to wrap up with? Any final thoughts on the iceberg chart?
Just want to encourage everybody, tune in Thursday, 6 p.m.
Thursday morning, too, 8 a.m.
8 a.m. Yeah, we'll be here. We'll see what that's like.
Talk about.
Sometimes our morning ones are a little crazy.
I have plans for this Thursday's episode, so I
saw that.
Yeah.
Does your plans include bringing
should we eat
breakfast burritos?
We could do that this time.
I don't even want to do a food comp. I just want a breakfast burrito.
Just want something from
that place.
Yeah,
it's a good place.
Yep.
Make sure you guys support that place. If you know what we're talking about.
What's it called?
It's the
Up Your Brunch. No.
Sure, let's go with that. Up Your Brunch food truck. It's not it, but that's close enough.
It has brunch in it. It's very good. It's on the north side of town, north of that and that big truck, the Cenex, and it's in a church parking lot.
He's giving straight up North Dakota directions right now. It's past that huge tree. Yep, if you just go past that huge tree on 83, you'll find it.
You betcha, bud.
You betcha. It's right across. There's like 3 buildings across the road. It's right across from those 3 buildings.
And when you go up on the hill, when you get on the flat part, then you can see for miles, and you'll see her right there by the church.
It's a yellow truck. It's a yellow truck. It looks like a delivery van, but
it's not. No, they'll deliver the food for you though.
Yeah, he's got his he's running back and forth between Canadian and Dutch or something today.
Well, they mentioned the Fargo movie on here, so I had to do my attempt at a Fargo.
A boot.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. And with that,
all right, there we go. Thanks for watching today. Make sure you like and subscribe. Become part of the Dakotan community. We'd love to have you around.